Ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute pleasure now to introduce you to the 2019-20 CoSIDA Academic All-America Team Member of the Year for all of Division II, Women's at-large Nordic skiing. Her name is Amanda Kautzer, coming from the Upper Peninsula at Michigan Technical University. You are the one of over 4,000 nominees across all sports, male and female, Amanda, to earn this, and deservedly so, for your prowess as an athlete and your prowess in the classroom. Congratulations. Before I get into your accolades, what is your reaction?
I'm honestly a little bit surprised. I'm very thankful for all the coaches and my nominator. I didn't even know that this was going on. So to find out about it, I was surprised for it, for sure. But to just know that there's people in my community looking out and like nominating me for this. I had no idea, like 4,000, that's an insane number of student athletes. And to know that they're all doing the same things I am is pretty cool, to be highlighted for this. I'm really, really proud of it and really excited to find out about it.
Well, at CoSIDA, the sports information teams and people and personnel across the country are recognizing you for three-time NCAA qualifier. You qualified as and that's as a skier, right? You also qualified as a runner in the cross-country world in 2019, a two-time academic All-American in the classroom, remarkable 4.0 in biomedical engineering. It's just, and now pursuing the master's, I think in mechanical
engineering. Yep.
Okay, so where do I start with you, young lady? As a skier, because you're a biathlete, you've been part of Team USA, a member of Team USA as a biathlete. But in terms of classic technique skiing, and what you've accomplished, give us a sense of what, because it's such a seasonal sport, right? How does one train, and explain sort of all the things that go into what you've accomplished at Michigan Tech?
Wow, that is a big question. So for the training aspect, like, yes, it is a seasonal sport. We only have snow, well, one season. Winter in Houghton is really 6 months. So it's a nice long season. But
Michigan,
like you said, it's only
Houghton, Michigan, in the Upper Peninsula. Go on.
Yep. So we have a long season, which is awesome opportunity to be up at Michigan Tech. Great facilities, like less than half a mile from my house and right on campus. So it's a really great spot to be. But outside of the winter, we're roller skiing, which is essentially skiing on wheels. There's no brakes. It's kind of scary, but you get used to it. I just hit my 10-year mark this season from when I learned how to ski, and probably starting my second year, I started roller skiing, and just that through the summer, along with running, biking, swimming. I've been really lucky, and throughout my time being an athlete, but especially now with COVID happening, like, yes, there's been impacts, but I can still go outside and work out. And with the social distancing, I can still train and do the things that I usually do. So there's obviously been an impact, but I'm so thankful that I'm in a sport where we can train outside and continue doing the things that we do all the time to train. So getting back to your question, lots of running, biking, skiing all year round. Bigger volume block. They say skiers are made in the summer, so lots of training. Yeah, it's surprising the first time I heard it, but it's definitely true that you get a big chunk of time where you can be outside. You're not having to run in, put on dry clothes, take a shower to warm up all the time. It's like really good for your body to build that endurance base. And then as we go into the fall, I've had a really unique situation being at Michigan Tech on both the cross country running and the Nordic skiing teams. It's pretty rare to be on both like that. So we get the opportunity to race with cross country and get that experience getting in the race mentality, which coming off of summer, it's a little bit hard to do sometimes, just jump straight into skiing when you haven't raced for a while, as well as get to train with people who are usually better runners than us skiers. So it keeps us on our toes a little bit. And then transitioning with some more intensity, so higher speed, lower duration workouts into the fall. And then once we get on snow, it's race season. So every weekend, you're really just surviving 2 races a week at least, and just trying to race, go as hard as you can, and then recover and sleep and do your homework and buy groceries and all the things you need to do to be a human, and then recover for the next weekend to go all out in the races. So end of November through March, and then the spring is kind of our downtime. So we're still doing things, but a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more alpine skiing and going for runs with friends kind of thing.
Oh, just some alpine skiing. I'm really curious because I grew up in Canada. You're from Plymouth, Minnesota. Are you like a kid at Christmas who's like looking outside for snow? Are you like that as far as a high-end skier?
Yeah, the last 4 years being a machine tech, it's not Christmas, it's more Thanksgiving if we're lucky. We usually do an on-snow camp over Thanksgiving break, and yes, I do love the snow. To be honest though, my favorite skiing of the year is in the spring, in that April-May timeframe, which we do still have snow in April-May in Houghton. I've skied every year on my birthday, which is May 2nd. So that spring skiing when it's sunny and like 50 degrees and the snow's kind of gross, but it still snows so you can ski. That's my favorite. It's not the frigid cold, putting on coats and hats and mittens and everything.
You're getting that good vitamin D out there in that time of year.
Exactly.
Why are you so good? What are your strengths as a classic technique skier?
Do you mean as opposed to skate technique?
Yeah, as opposed to skate technique, exactly.
Why? It came more naturally to me. When I started skiing, I picked it up really quickly. So I guess I've had probably 3 more years
What is the biggest difference for those who are watching this who don't know the difference necessarily between classic technique and skating in the skiing realm? What are those two basic differences?
So classic skiing, think of it like running with skis on your feet. Your arms and legs are moving in opposite directions and you're going essentially straight forward. Skate skiing is more like ice skating, but then you add your poles in. So more of a lateral motion, a side to side. So that's simplest way to explain it.
And then your strengths. What do you think your strengths are? You've been so good.
So classic skiing, I picked it up, the technique, a lot sooner. So it's really skating. I have to focus on what am I doing? Where are my feet supposed to be? Like, how do my arms move? Whereas classic skiing, I could really just put my head down and say, okay, how hard can I push myself? Who can I go catch? What can I achieve in this race, or how can I do my best in this race, as opposed to just flailing a little bit.
And did you really start in the 7th grade? Was it around that time?
7th grade was when I learned.
Who are your biggest influences in this really unique field of sport?
Biggest influence was definitely my high school coach. So I got a new coach my freshman year of high school, and he really focused on making me a better athlete by providing me the opportunities. He knew his limitations as a coach to say, okay, I'm not necessarily the best, so let me seek out club training and getting good coaching experience and good teammates to compete with there, as well as looking out for me as a person and saying, is this what makes you happy? Like, you're doing well, but does this make you happy? Like, is this what you want? Not is this what your parents want or your teachers want? Is this what you want? And that was a big thing, just to keep me engaged in the sport and, like I said, happy and in it for the right reasons, not just because I can do well at it, but because I want to be doing it and I enjoy what I'm doing.
I love hearing that passion, and it's so important for young people to hear that message, right? But you've done it in not just as, like I mentioned, the skiing, biathlete, as a runner, multifaceted. You could probably do an Ironman, I would guess.
It's funny you mentioned that. I did that last weekend.
Time out. You just did an Ironman?
So not an official one. I have had the goal of doing it for an after college goal. And I was talking with some friends and they're like, okay, why not do it right now? So we weren't going for time. We weren't trying to race it, trying to win anything, but just, can I physically do the distance and do that 100-something mile bike and the marathon at the end of it? And one of my friends was willing to do it with me. So we went up to Marquette and also in the UP, and we did it on trails, which made it harder, but also I love trail running, trail biking. So a lot of fun.
So that's just for again, people watching, that's like a full marathon. That's like almost 60-mile bike ride, if somewhere in that vicinity. And that is like I don't know how many mile swim. It's unbelievable.
2.4 swim, 112 bike, and then the marathon.
Yeah, I'll leave it to you, the biomedical engineer, to give me the specs on that one. Tell me why biomedical engineering.
So biomed was originally started, my career path with that because I thought I wanted to go to med school. And it's a good segue where if you can't get into med school right away, it gives you that job security of being able to get a job. And then I got into school and realized, well, maybe I don't want to do another 8 years of school to do that med school degree. And I'd had some internships along the way and really enjoyed what I'm doing in the engineering side and more on the back end. So not in like scrubbed in every day, but still working on products that are life-changing and help people.
So like medical products that would help somebody who has some sort of a sickness or a deficiency physically?
Yeah, so my first internship was in spinal implants. So literally just a plate that screws into vertebrae when somebody has a very damaging spine injury. Last summer, I worked with cardiac implants, so pacemakers, defibrillators, that sort of thing. And that's really amazing technology that just, I worked in it all summer. It's still mind-blowing to me. And then this summer, I'm working with robotic surgery devices. So a big variety there, but biomed is endless. So I could do all that, or I could go do stem cell research or any of that kind of stuff. So that's another big draw is it's a growing field and it seems endless in the opportunities in it.
I feel inspired listening to you. I feel like you could do pretty much anything. Again, it's the passion that just really permeates from you through the screen and in the interviews I've watched of you. What do you want to do?
Gosh, there are so many things I want to do. Looking for the next couple of years, I'm not ready to be done skiing. And I didn't think I would be after college, but having my last race cut short, because that's the only thing that COVID affected in my ski season was that last race. And that was kind of a big one for both me and one of my other teammates. That was our better of the two events at NCAA's and really, really looking forward to that. And just to end on that just didn't feel right. And I still have a lot of goals. There's a lot of things I was very close to getting this last season that I know I can do better. And knowing that there's things that I could be doing that I haven't quite gotten there is hard to just let sitting. And like I said, I'm doing my master's next year, but I'm really excited to be not next year, but the year after, just an athlete. It's a hard balance. It's just a struggle most of the time to balance that skiing and studying and trying to have a social life sometimes, maybe. So to just be able to focus entirely on skiing and be able to say, yeah, I'm gonna go to bed because I need 8 hours of sleep tonight, rather than, well, I should do this assignment, but maybe not. I'll stay up a little bit later, kind of thing.
Well, it seems as though you're doing it all with a smile on your face, and the sky is the limit. It's the cliche is there. And again, I just want to reiterate, one of over 4,000 nominees in Division II out of Michigan Tech. Her name is Amanda Kautzer, women's at-large Nordic skiing. We congratulate you from CoSIDA. How are you celebrating this honor?
I am currently in a different city away from most of my friends and family because my internship's in Wisconsin, so I'm probably just going to do something with my roommates. It's a little disappointing. I didn't even think of celebrating, to be honest. Well,
we congratulate you. We wish you and your family the safest time during this pandemic. Thanks for your time, Amanda, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Well deserved.